putting vulva first, it can interfere with, easy for men to do, but because men have this familiarity thing, it's actually not as easy. This familiarity bias, which makes them more predisposed to putting other religions first or whatever it may be. So the question is, how do we put our ways to do it are to, for starters, you can, like for adult, part of the issue is it's like, how do we celebrate, like how do we have women show off their bodies without, I think women an entirely sexual thing, and it's kind of sure that that is like I've heard women at strip club, fellow stripper women at strip clubs say things like, oh, how's your pussy doing today, and like she's feeling good type of thing. And part of the process of worshiping is to, whenever you're thinking of stuff like, oh, if I had a nicer car, maybe such and such woman would like me. Women like you. Okay, there's two kinds of dynamics. There's women, either women like you for who you are right now, but it's just that you don't have enough money to pay for the cost of a family and be able to afford a stay-at-home wife or mother, because that's a cost of, you're basically paying her to help you guys to be able to live a nicer life, where the woman actually gets to be a woman in her feminine energy. But the whole thing is, it's about that vulva is sacred. It's about the woman's body is sacred, and that women are not able to protect it alone. They need help. And the only reason that what I was saying is either their father tried to protect her, or she had to protect her, or she had some relationships that were sexual relations that were premarital, and they were. The problem is that women eventually give up on love, like they just, because they have this thing where if I understand, they like to follow naturally, and so what they do is they kind of follow along, and what ends up happening is what ends up happening is where was I? What ends up happening is the woman ends up not being willing to follow any man at all, and she becomes lost. and so this and not able to be a fully feminine woman again. I think that's what happens, is that there's like a permanent disconnect, and that's just another reason to avoid premarital intimacy, and that is worshiping GoddessV. Because when they're not worshiping GoddessV by the way the woman should be doing it as well, when people are not doing that, what happens is it becomes more about the man and him having an orgasm. It becomes more about them whatever kissing or whatever, and it's not about the vulva. And so if it was about the vulva, the guy would want to marry the woman and then worship her vulva with oral sex, and then everything that happens beyond happens. Now, this isn't to discount that sexual compatibility of the frequency and the duration of sex, during a typical week, what it would be. But again, the whole idea of like going on dates and the guy kissing the girl, quote unquote, all of that is not. It's not about vulva. And another thing is, we don't want women to get like their inner labia removed with labiaplasty, because it looks like a flower, and like I like larger labia and a larger clitoris for that matter, because it's like more of something to suck on, and also it's the idea of penetration during sex with a larger labia also has its own erotic experience associated. And so, but it's a flower, and so we really need to get the message out there that women don't need to worry about their breast size. It's inconsequential, because breasts are these sacs for babies. It's like, ultimately, it's like, what would you rather suck on? Woman's nipples or woman's labia and clitoris, right? That's really part of the underlying aspect here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So get into it. It's like, if you want, part of it is this commitment to it's a commitment to wanting a better life, and it's also a commitment to masculinity. Like, to me, giving oral sex is the most masculine act because it's not reliant upon the man following his emotional sexual desires to get off and to perhaps also dominate the woman in sex, because that's often what intercourse is about. It's about, it's about this unconscious, visceral, biological energy for the man to chase the woman and impregnate. Like, it's not. It's a healthy part of an incorporated, loving experience, but the woman can't always have sex. The man may not always be able to. He may have erectile dysfunction issues, and consequently, what you're left with is the vulva and the degree to which he is committed to, and oriented around the vulva. And I think you need to kind of. What do I think? Sorry, I didn't see you. No. Thank you. And, I'm going to jump onto another topic for a second. Like, when people know that, say, somebody is a Christian or a Muslim, they feel good around them because they know that they're going to be civil, trustworthy, competent, and respectful, professional, courteous, generally. And so it's a cultural thing, and I really, it doesn't matter what the ethnicity is. It's a cultural thing, and it's also the way that they dress. Things like gangsters, whether they're gangsters or not, that they're hiding their face with a hoodie or whatnot. That's threatening behavior. That presents a threat because they're not identifiable. They're hiding. And so, like, so it's like the problem with the whole, like, is are people racist? No, they're not racist. They're afraid and prejudiced against people who look thuggish and look. So the whole point of life should be to avoid having that appearance and have a more professional, trustworthy appearance. That includes everything from refraining to get so many tattoos, unless they're cultural tattoos. And even then, that gives a kind of a strange edge. And also, we need to be aware of what's masculine and feminine. Like, for women, when they get tattoos or wear high heels or makeup or try to, dress aggressively, like to seduce men, like, that's actually a masculine thing. It's a masculine energy. Like, guys need to realize if a woman's pursuing you, then that's a masculine woman, and it's not that it's a bad thing. And it may feel good for a moment. It may feel good as a man to be able to relax and, like, feel like you don't have to worry and feel like when we get, but at the end of the day, you're not going to feel like a man. You're going to feel like, and so that's why the man is the only one that's to propose to the woman. Okay? I'm about to sign out, but I feel like I got another bite out of what I'm trying to convey. And let's get more into it as time progresses. I'm going to be working on a document, and I'm going to be going live doing that. It's going to be a special document. All right, let me get back to you guys. Oh, there's one person saying hello. Thanks for the like. I gotta bounce, but we'll be talking more soon. Aloha.